Some of you may recall that I have a background in property law and zoning, so I rode out to Revere, Mass. Not quite 2 years ago to do some research on a low-cost apartment building at 525 Beach Street. Abutter Clifford, Pisano and I determined that the city knew of contamination by virtue of the gas station card on file that I pulled, and by virtue of the fact that Councilor Ira Novoselsky was present at relevant developer meetings where it was plainly discussed online. But the city granted full permitting without anyone ever publicly revealing the actual results of the testing. And the city and Mass DEP allowed all of this to happen without any taxpayer knowledge outside of what Mr. Pisano and I have posted. None of the other media will touch this, even though I rolled video of some of them interviewing Mr. Pisano at the time. Well, the bottom line is that Mr. Pisano's had to file a new lawsuit this year to halt the proceedings because he believes there's a trespass issue by virtue of 40 years of adverse possession his family has on a walkway that the developer is going to use, and further that OSHA and EPA mandates are not being followed. The court set a hearing for December 10th of 2013, but Mr. Pisano is going back today, November 24th, with a sworn affidavit to obtain an immediate TRO. Let's see how the courts treat this pro se litigant who suffers from brain damage from being beaten and raped as a child. Watch it all happen on KingCast cameras.
Yes, hi. This is a piece of plastic that blew off of the roof of 525 Beach Street where they're removing asbestos. There's nothing covered up there. I'm assuming this plastic is all covered with asbestos if it was covering the material.
What have you learned?
I've learned that there's a gas tank underneath the ground of 2,000 gallons. I've also learned that the land is actually contaminated, and that's on the record in court a couple weeks ago. Also found out that they did the testing back in May of 2011. They had 120 days which to report this to the EPA, the city, and everybody else. That was in August of 2011. Yet the city, the EPA, DEP, nobody has been provided any information about the testing that was done at 525 Beach.
Investigation that was done did reveal some low-level contaminants in the fill on the land.
Please put a hold on them from doing any work until this testing, this whole...
If you could, when did your client come into possession of the testing results? If you could, Council. Council? I was just curious, if your client got that a long time ago last year?
Now you'll see the light. What you